Now let us understand about relationships. Relationships is association among entities. So when attribute of one entity refers to the attribute of another entity, there is some relationship. So for example, patients and doctors are related to each other, so between those entities there will be a relationship. Treats will be the relationship between doctor and the patient. To give you another example, an employee will work under some department. So this is the employee entity, department entity. The department entity has name, number, and locations. And the department will have several locations. And here, many employees will work under one department. An employee will have a manager. That is, the department will be managed by one employee. So there is also a manager's relationship between employee and the department. One employee will become the manager of one department. The relationship type is nothing but relationships of the same type, they are grouped together to become the relationship type. Relationship set is the set of relationships of the same type. Again, they are referred to by the same name. Now let us understand this relationship set in detail. See, this is a binary relationship because there are two entities that are involved. E1 works for D1. It is shown by the relation R1. E2 works for D2, shown using relation R2, and so on and so forth. It is uh, shown. Degree of relationships type. If there are two entities involved, then it is binary relationship. If there are three entities involved, then it is ternary relationship. So this is binary. Employee works on project. Ternary could be supplier, part, project. So a supplier is supplying parts, and for which project. So that becomes a ternary relationship. The relationships might also have attributes. So basically it's something like when this entity is interacting with this entity, what are the new attributes which are to be stored. So when to record number of hours per week that an employee works on a particular project, it becomes an attribute of relationship type works on. So for example, pens are bought by John, product is bought by customer John. So in that case, how many pens are bought? What is the price of each pen? So the quantity and the price becomes the attributes of the relationship. Recursive relationship. Now recursive relationship, here the entity will be involved more than once in the relationship. As you can see, employee, now every employee will have a supervisor, which will be again an employee. So there is a supervision relationship between employee and another employee. So an employee super, there will be on one side it will be supervisor, and on the other side it will be supervisee. So if there is one person, John is supervised by Jacob. So I say John is the supervisee and Jacob is the supervisor. So one person will act as supervisee and another person will act as supervisor. The role name. So as I was giving you the example, so there will be a different role name with which an entity participates in that relationship. So supervisor, supervisee, these are the role names of a particular entity. So if I see managers relationship, so one will become manager and the other will become the employer. See, this is how a recursive relation will look like. So it gets mapped to the same entity. This is the relationship and this is the entity.